Hello, everyone. Very good afternoon to all of you, those who have joined us today. And I feel very blessed that you all have chosen to join us on a Sunday afternoon, leaving aside, today is the day when everyone relax. But you being present here today, it shows the compassion, passion, and interest that you have towards security. So we will be So we are joined by our lead trainer Yuvang Soni today, who will be taking your session on finding vulnerabilities with Burp Suite, which is an essential tool for ethical hackers today to find out issues in any web application. So this session will be very interactive. If you have any questions, please post up in our chat box. We will be happy to take it up in between the sessions. Or if you have any questions on the way, we would be glad to answer them. So Yuang Soni is one of our lead trainers in CLEAP Institute of Information Security. He has successfully delivered about 4 training sessions of in our institute. Also, he's a lead consultant with our company, Cleap Technologies, where he leads the security team and works on various applications on testing. He is proficient in the work that he do. So, Yuvank, over to you today.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for having me, and thanks for the great introduction. So, guys, hey everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are doing fine. And before starting, I wanted to have a poll. I hope you have that. I wanted to ask you guys, like, in which language you guys are familiar with. So I can continue with English if you guys want, and I can continue in Hindi also, or like whatever works out for you guys and whatever language you are good with. So I want you to have a poll with that.
We can have it in the chat box. If everyone is okay in English, please a yes or a thumbs up. That would be great.
Or if anyone wants Hindi, so just tell us. Great. Familiar with English? Okay. English. Okay. Great. So we can continue in English. Okay. And I hope everyone will understand this. So yeah, great. Okay. Just let me set this thing up. Okay. So guys, let's talk about Burp Suite today. Okay. So we'll be discussing about the Burp Suite, like what it is exactly and how we will be using this. We'll be trying to find some vulnerabilities using that. We'll be using an web application which is already like present there, and if you want you can continue like doing that with me, or if you want you can just see the session, and later if you want to continue you can just continue with the recordings and all. So, and also in between, if you have any questions or anything, you can just write it in a chat box if you're doing something with me, along with me, so that you can, if you have any questions in there, you can just write them in there. And also if you are watching me on YouTube live, so you can also like drop your questions there. Okay. So I am sharing my screen. I hope this is visible. I hope my screen is visible. Okay.
Yes, it is.
Great. And let me bring up the chat box. Okay. Great. So the session today is on finding vulnerabilities using Burp Suite. Okay, so hey everyone, let me introduce again myself. My name is Yuvak Soni. I'm an information security consultant at Leap Technologies, and I also do train people. I have completed the 4 batches, and I do I do take some sessions and all. I enjoy this. This hacking is a kind of a thing which I do on the regular basis and all. So yeah, this is a bit about me. And also I'm pursuing a master's degree in computer applications. So yeah, just a thing to know. So what we'll be going to do today is we'll be seeing that what exactly is Burp Suite, why do we use Burp Suite, which are the tools which are offered by the Burp Suite, and we'll be also like doing it practically. We'll be seeing like how you can set it up, how to do things in Burp Suite and all. So let's go further into that. So first of all, I want to you guys to mention like what do you understand by WebSuite? Like, is there anyone who have already used there, or like are there people like who just wants to learn this thing and like came up for the first time? I want you guys to answer that. Have you used WebSuite before, or you are a beginner in there for this thing? Okay. No, you guys have not used WebSuite before, right? Okay. Okay, some of you have used it, some of you have not. So like what exactly is Burp Suite? Okay, great. Hi Harshit. It's nice to see you here. So um okay. So what exactly is Burp Suite? Burp Suite is basically our proxy tool. Okay, so like what we do is what we generally do with our applications, we whenever we click on some link or whenever we do a request, what Burp Suite does with us is it captures that particular request and it just gives it up in a like very suitable and a readable format. Okay, and through that we can even try to manipulate that. We can try to like send that particular request as many times as we want. Okay, and even send that particular request by manipulating that request as many times as you want. Okay, so like by doing this, what we do is we try to find out the results which not the server wants to give us, but the result which we want the server to give us. So that's how we try to find the things which generally are not generally people do not able to find, but like we are required that, or if the attacker is there, so he may find that. Okay, so this is why basically is Burp Suite there. Why do we use Burp Suite is like not some other tool. There are alternatives for the Burp Suite like Zap Proxy and all. Zap Proxies by OWASP. So why just specifically Burp Suite? Like, is there anyone who can like tell me this answer? Like, why do we specifically use Burp Suite? Like, we have so many tools other than even this also. We have alternatives of Burp Suite. Is there anyone like who thinks? I want you guys like to answer something. Interface, yeah, it's a graphical user interface, correct. But yeah, interface is also provided by some other tools. So anything else? Tool integration, like yeah, obviously, it's a huge point, yeah. And because of tool integration, we can extend the Burp Suite, we can extend the capabilities of Burp Suite. So yeah, for sure. And pro features. Okay, so let me tell you guys, I will be using Burp Suite community version, okay, for this time, so that every one of you can do it. Okay, not everyone have this like the pro version. Okay, I think like I may have that. Okay, because I am a professional, I'm doing it like daily. This is my daily task, but some of you like might not have that, right? And like many of that you have pro, you might have downloaded it from somewhere. But yeah, pro, like, or you have even paid for that. But pro is not with everyone else, right? we are just talking here for Burp Suite specifically, like you can consider a community version. Okay, because it have many of the feature. Yes, obviously, because it have many features. Like, okay, let me tell you guys why we use specifically Burp Suite. Okay, and why the professionals recommend using just Burp Suite. Okay, first thing is like already mentioned in the chat box, because of tool integration. Okay, like what exactly it's like what he means by tool integration. So by that we mean that we can extend the capabilities of Burp Suite by a thing, like you can just see it even on the screen, called extender. Okay, so extender is something by which we can add some more features in there. Okay, like turbo intruder and all. Okay, so and even active scan plus plus and many tools like that. Okay, and we can just find the vulnerabilities using those particular tool integrations, like directly by using Burp Suite. We do not have to use a different tool instead if we are using a Burp Suite, and if we extend that. Okay, so first is that. The other thing is that it is very powerful tool. Okay, if we use Burp Suite, it's actually very powerful in the sense that it is faster than the other tools available there. Okay, and we use Burp Suite particularly is like there might be chances that some tools will be available for just Linux, some tools will be available for just Windows, but Burp Suite is like available for all these platforms. We can use Burp Suite in Linux, we can use Burp Suite in our Windows machine, we can use even in Mac OS if you want. Like anywhere we can use Burp Suite. And by just using that Burp Suite, we can do so many different types of testings. Like even if you want to do something like API security testing, and if you want to do like even Android or iOS testing, and obviously we are doing it for the web applications. So like there are things which we can do more than with a Burp Suite. And some tools, like the other tools, might not offer this thing. Okay, great. So let's go further. So what are the tools like which are offered by the Burp Suite? Okay, so there are a lot of tools which are already there, already present there inside Burp Suite, like which are offered like directly by the Burp Suite. The first and very important is the proxy. Okay, if you are a security professional, if you are into security, if you are into hacking, if you are into like any field of the cybersecurity, you know why proxy is very important. If we have proxy tool, if we have something like proxy, we can do a lot. We can like escalate our privileges a lot with the web application testing. Okay, or even with any type of testing if we are using like BurpSuite and all. So proxy is a really important tool. Okay, intruder is something which we can utilize it for like much efforts. Someone is in waiting room. Okay, so intruder is something like by which we can do some more attacks. Okay, specifically if I say by using intruder we can do brute force attack. Okay, I'll show you how we do that. Okay, intruder is something like if we want to, if we have, let's say, 1,000 different characters, or if we say that we have 1,000 different kind of requests we want to send, so in that case we can directly use the intruder with the same request. Yeah, there might be chances that if you are using this with 1,000 things, you can get blocked by the website. Okay, so it is kind of a DDoS also. So I do not recommend using that, but yeah, it is there. Okay. It is the next is the repeater. Okay, the repeater is also the same thing. If we want to try different things, if we want to try out different what we say that parameters for a different result, we can use a repeater for that. And what repeater will do, it will save all the results in there, and we can just get whatever request we do on a particular type of parameter there, we can just get it in there in the plain text format, or in the other formats as we request from the server. It can be XML also, it can be the thing, like it depends on the request what we are doing there. Okay, and like we can like basically manipulate the overall request in there. So yeah, then we have decoder. if we have something which is already coded in there, like encoded in there, and if there is something like we need to be decoded, so decoder can be useful. It might be like possible that we can just find out like we can just decode that thing. If the actually if actually encoding is a bit less, we can directly use the decoder in the burp suite. If encoding is a bit strong, and like if encoding is done in a proper format, or we can say a proper standard format, then we might need to like work it out, like how we can encode and decode that. But if the thing is there, if the thing is a easy task, so we can do it with a decoder like directly inside the burp suite. Also, the very important thing, which is scanner. Okay, so why scanner is very important in burp suite? So what we can do is with the scanner, if we just turn on the scanner on the particular website, it will scan the whole website, and it will save that particular results or within the target section, and it will create a particular sitemap for us. By the sitemap, obviously we can do so many things, like we can try to enumerate more, and not just enumeration, by like when we have that particular scanner running, we will be able to get more parameters and more logical links there. Okay, and by that we can exploit that particular website or that those different parameters even more. So yeah, this is why I think scanner is, I think, very important. uh, there are more tools. There are a lot of different tools which are there in burp suite, so we will like look for it separately. So let's see further. So like this is the time for the practical demonstration. So we'll be using a burp suite. We'll be downloading it from the from our website, like from where the official website of the portsugar, and then we will be setting up proxy. Like I will show you guys how you can basically install your basically set up your burp suite for the better results, and how basically you can try like start using it from now onwards. Okay, so if you want like how you can do it, you can do it with me. Okay, and then we'll be also exploiting some basic vulnerabilities and all. We'll be like using or utilizing the burp suite to find those vulnerabilities. Okay, and then the part will come where we'll be utilizing the burp suite at its best. Okay, so let's go. Let me just stop sharing my screen for a once, and I'll share my screen again. Okay, so I hope my screen is visible. Okay, so from where you can basically download a burp suite. Okay, so you have to do nothing. You just have to go on Google and download burp suite. Okay, and it will take you to the portsugar website, and you can just go straight to the downloads. Okay, so we'll be using the community edition. We'll be using it for Windows 64. If you are using something else or like Mac OS or Linux, you can like download it accordingly. Okay, so I will be using the Windows 64-bit version, so I already have downloaded that. But let's see, this is how you'll download it. Okay, I already have that in my download section. There is nothing, just I have to double click and install this thing. It will ask and allow like to allow us some more permissions and all. Like I already have installed this thing, so this is how you have to do it, and it will not take anything else, like just a normal step by step next installation. I already have installed this thing, so it's not needed for me. Okay, what I can do is I can now go on my browser, which is my Firefox browser, or I can open the community edition, which I have just downloaded. So now we will be setting up proxy. So like what we'll be doing is we'll be using a temporary project. we'll be like leaving all the settings of the Burp Suite on default. Okay, we don't want a different configuration on there. So yeah, this is how it will look like. Okay, if you're doing it with me, or if you found like any difficulties in there, like it's nothing, just we have downloaded and installed it. Okay, so you can tell me. Okay, great. Now what we are going to do is we will be setting up a proxy. Okay, so you have to do nothing, we just have to go in settings of this Firefox browser. Okay, you have to type in certificate. Okay, and there you have to import the certificate. How we will be able to download the certificate, I'll show you. Okay, before that we have to like switch on the proxy. So I will search for the proxy in my settings. I will get it, and look, this should be my proxy 127.0.0.1, and the port number should be 8080. How I have like chosen this number is because of this thing here. Look, in the proxy tab in options menu, I will get this thing 127.0.0.1, and my port number will be 8080. So like take a point that these both things should be similar. Okay, if you have a proxy setup, so you have to do it from there. Okay, so like this is how you will set up a manual proxy. Nothing else now. We just have to go on our browser. We have to just type http://burp. That's it. It will take you to this page, and there you will have this CA certificate. If you click on it, it will be downloaded. That's it. This is what casert.ter will be the file for the CA certificate of the Burp Suite. How you will be installing this thing, I've already mentioned. You just have to go and search for certificate, and you have to click on import. You have to go on the place where you have the certificate. Just have to open. I have already installed that, so I do not need to do it, but I've showed it for you guys. Okay, I think this is clear for everyone. Now my proxy is set it up, my CA certificate is installed. Now I just have to go on any website and just see like if my proxy is working or not. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll go on facebook.com. So look, now I can see in my HTTP history, I am on facebook.com. Okay, like this is already capturing like all the data I have. Okay, and also in the targets, I can see that facebook.com is there. Okay, if I go on the intercept tab, okay, and if I do something, also let me show you one more thing before that. There is a browser already which is already given to us by the Burp Suite now. So also you can utilize this thing. Okay, let me open this thing up for you. This is a Chromium browser. Okay, so this thing will be installed with the Burp Suites directly. You do not have to set up proxy if you will be using this thing. Okay, but I recommend you to set up the proxy in a different browser other than using this particular browser. Like there is not like not a disadvantage, but it is recommended. It's like that. This particular browser is just given to us like newly or like lately by the Burp Suite. It was not given us to below like before that. So yeah, this is the thing. And now if I enter my email address like yuangsoni@gmail.com, okay, or like anything as a password, okay, and if I turn on the intercept and click on the login, it has generated a request for me. Okay, and the Facebook page is just stopped there. Okay, so look, this is what was my Gmail account address. Okay, and this is what was the password. Okay, also there's a thing, if you get this thing, if you get the password and the email address in a plain form, okay, then it is considered as a vulnerability, like low vulnerability, but yeah, it is a kind of a vulnerability that if someone is eavesdropping you, then he can get that what is your ID passwords and all. Okay. So now there's also a thing why we have installed that CA certificate in there. What if we do not install that certificate? Why is like what's the motive of installing that CA certificate? Can anyone tell me? Like, do anyone have this question before? Like, what if we do not install the CA certificate? Do we will be able to like get these requests? Yes. Okay, permission for secure HTTPS connection. Exactly, correct. Okay, so why we installed this certificate is if we have not like installed this particular certificate, this website will tell the it is unsecured. Yeah, it will be unsecured. Like it's not like that. Yeah, website will tell the connection is unsecured. You're correct in there. But the thing is, if we install this thing, we are allowing or we are trying to authorize the browsers or authorize the burp suite that yeah, this is our secured connection, but you can utilize that connection and you can basically enter in between that. Okay, if we have not like if you have not installed that particular certificate, yes, it will tell that the connection is unsecured, and also it will not allow us to get the further request. It will stop us because of the security reasons. Okay, and you will be not be able to see this kind of request on a HTTPS website. If we want to see like HTTPS connection on a particular website, and if we want to see like if we want to see that particular what do we say the request on a HTTP website, we can just directly go with that. We do not have to install that CA certificate. But if we are using the HTTPS connection, we have to install that particular certificate. Okay, I hope I'm clear until now. Okay, so I will just do nothing and I will drop this request. I do not want it to go further. Now what we can do is we will go on our test site. Okay, and then we'll be using this thing, and now we'll be able to like try to find out some vulnerabilities. So there is a site called testphp.vulnmap. Okay, I think some of you might be familiar with, or most of my students will be familiar with that site. Okay, so this is kind of our, we will be utilizing this site for the results. Okay, so let me tell you guys, it is already like mentioned here that you can use the username test and test, also the password is test. Okay, so the username and password will be only test and test for this website. But what if it is a particular it is a it's a operative website, or it's an operational website, it's a commercial website, let's say, and it's not mentioned there that which is the certificate, which is the username and which is the password. Okay, it doesn't happen generally that sites allow us and like just give access to us directly. It is not like that, right? But what if we know that yeah, somehow test is a username, okay, but we do not know the password. Okay, now if I try to log in there, it's incorrect and it will not allow me to log in. Okay, because I have not used the correct password. But let's say I'm using test and test. Okay, so then it will allow. But for now, what's the thing is there, because I know like what is the correct username and what is the correct password. But what if I don't know that? What if I know just a username, or what if I know just a password? There we can utilize this thing, which is burp. Okay, let's say I know, or I somehow I enumerated that this will be a username. Okay, test will be a username, but I don't know about a password. Okay, so I will type in anything. Okay, I will go on burp. Okay, I will put the intercept as on. Okay, and then I will try to log in. this is the request which I will get. Okay, I can send it to repeater for now. Okay, so let's consider this thing. In the proxy tab, we have this will not work for now. Let's switch it off. Okay, login is still pending there. Okay, if we send this request, we'll get response at 302 not found. Why? Because obviously the password is incorrect, right? But what we can do here is, with the repeater, we can try to manipulate as many times as we want, and we can send the request. We can do as long as we want, like anything. And as many times as we want, we can do it. We can try all the possible connections and all the possible test cases. Now, if I send a correct one, I will get a 200 response because this particular username and password is correct now. Okay, so there are different response codes. Okay, so 302 or something, some response like 30 something. Okay, three in the line of 300, the response code refers to the redirection. Okay, and in the response code for 200 and something, the response code is like referring that, yeah, this your particular request is correct, and the server is okay with the connection, and he will be sending out the perfect message, and the message is as requested as you want. Okay, so 200 request is a okay request, like it's a successful request. Now, let's say still, if you consider that we do not know this thing, and we can send this thing to an intruder. Okay, now we can go and we can clear this tab from here. Okay, it's a simple thing, nothing like more serious about that. Already we know that what is the username. We just have to find out that what is the password. Okay, so we can add this thing here. Okay, by adding this, I am allowing BurpSuite to see that this particular parameter, which is pass, I'm allowing different values to like come over in there. Okay, like instead of just the thing which is already there, I will be giving some more payloads in there. Okay, so where I will get my payloads, I have already created a list for that. So I have a password list. I will cat this thing. So this is my password list. So now I will be using this password list to brute force. And I have copied it from there. Okay. And I will be pasting this thing here. So now I have created my password list. Okay, successfully. And I have also given this thing as a variable there. Okay. I just have to do is to start the attack. It will ask us for the permission. Okay. Yeah. Now you can see that we have different status codes here. But whenever the correct password is there, a response code will be changed. Okay, I have put it like here as 21 different passwords there. Okay, or like I have put in the list consists of 21 different passwords which were correct, or I can say that one of them was correct, and other than that was all incorrect. Now how I can find out is I can just get this. I can sort this thing using a status code. So whenever I see this status code, this 200, as you have already seen in the repeater, this response code is correct, right? So this is how we can like try to find out, like by using a brute force or thing it like that which can be a correct password. Okay, but this is not the case always, right? This is just for an example that yeah, we can do it like that. But what happens generally is the password list can be of like huge. It can be huge, and it can even consider a million values. Okay, in that case, like we cannot just use like this speed, right? It will take us years to complete all those things. So in that case, we can use BurpSuite or the version of BurpSuite Pro, or even the enterprise version. Because of the community version, this thing is a bit slow, but on those versions, the intruder will be very fast. Also, other than that, other than using a pro version, we can also go and extend this thing and download, or we can say we can install a tool called Turbo Intruder. Okay, it's just in Burp's extension. So yeah. Now I have successfully logged in there. Okay, I found like which is the correct password for me. Okay, if you want, we can save this thing. I do not want it. I will discard this. Okay. Now what we'll do, we'll go on the target tab. We have seen how repeater tool works. We have seen how does intruder works. Okay, we have seen how proxy works, and also in the proxy we also have the proxy history. Okay, like on which websites and all those requests are there, which is like which were captured by the Burp Suite there. Okay, so yeah, for now as we already have that, so we can try to log in, and we'll be logged in here by this. Okay, so now you go on a home. We'll try to find out as much as things as you want. Okay, so I have already given this thing in our targets, like we have already this thing in our target. And what we'll do, we will add this thing to our scope. So now what is our scope? Our scope is what we're working on, or this is I can say that our scope is the particular URL or a domain name which we're working on. Like it can be our client even. Okay, so this is our scope, and we do not want that we go out of scope with there. Okay, so we can use this thing, and we can utilize this thing in PubSuite that it will not allow us to go out of scope, and we can see which all things and which all requests were in scope. Okay, we can filter these things, and if we apply this, all other things will be gone, and we will get just this thing. Now we will get a sitemap, like what all things are there, what all things are present there, how these things are working and all. Okay, so we have this. Now what else we can do is, because of we have a scope, we can just like open our scanner. Okay, scanner in community version is not good. Okay, like I don't find it like, that good enough. So I use that Pop Pro in there. But what we can do is we can just browse the things. We can just just browse our website, like our, or we can say we can just browse our domain, whichever we are working on. If we go on our book, there's a thing we can go on there. We can try to do as most things as possible, and we can try to find out some reflections, like maybe some cross-site scriptings or anything. But how we will be utilizing BurpSuite there, I'll show you. What I've done is I've just gone into places and just I was just basically surfing this website, right? And you have seen me, I have did nothing. I have and like did any payload or anything like that. I have just randomly I have surfed this website. Okay, because of that, I got this huge list of all those parameters. Okay, now I can sort it according to whatever I want. Okay, now in those parameters, I can get these things, like these are the things which I got in my parameter. Okay, what we can do is we can like for, let's say I'm using this parameter like search parameter, and I will send this thing to the intruder. Okay, I will clear this option, or even before intruder, let me do one thing. I will send this thing to repeater. Okay, I have this thing in intruder, and I've also sent this thing, the same specific thing in the repeater. Okay, so like this particular request is for searching something on that particular website. Okay, what I will do is I will manipulate this search and I can try to find, like, write my name. My name is Yuang and I've written it here and I've sent it. What I'll do it, I will find it here. Like, is the Yuang there? Yeah, it is reflected there. Okay, so if the thing is reflected there, if you're a security professional, if you're finding the reflections, now you know that where you are going, right? Now you know that what we are trying to do next. Okay, so we will just get this thing in our intruder. Okay, we will just go on that particular parameter which was reflecting. Okay, and we can add that parameter as a variable. Then we will go to the payloads and now we will have something like a XSS payloads. Okay, so what we'll do, I also have that particular list, XSS list as payload. Okay, so yeah, this is some XSS payloads. Okay, I have just copied and pasted it here. Okay, and I've already set it up the variable. I have pasted the thing, the payloads. Now I can just start the attack. Now, how I can sort these things? I can see that the length is like is a very less when nothing is being sent. Okay, I can sort these results according to the length. Okay, so the result with the most length will surely have something like will surely will be alerting us something. Okay, what I will do is I will send this thing to a repeater, or else what I can do, I can request this thing or show this thing in browser. I can just copy this thing. Okay, then I can go on that particular browser again. I can open a new tab and I can paste this, press enter. Now, ta-da, we have accesses. If you have a payload list for XSS and if you are using BurpSuite, finding XSS will be very easy for sure. Other than what else we have to do, we have to see that which is the like what is the reflection, what all things are there, like which is being reflected and all. Okay, will we have to like go through for a process. We have to then insert some things as some tags. You have to then close some tags. You have to just play around with the HTML first. Okay, then we will be going to shift to the scripts part. Then we will be writing some script. And then we'll be doing this thing. And other than that, like this is a very easy way to find the XSS. Instead of doing it all manually, we have done it by using this tool, by using the automation inside this BurpSuite. And if we have Pro or something like that, it will be even more faster as compared to this thing. Now I want you guys to have any questions. If you have, like, ask me anything you want. This is all about it. And also, if you want to learn more about BurpSuite, you can contact us. You can contact Pooja ma'am. Okay, and also you can get more details, contact details, which we'll be sharing soon. If you have any questions until now, just let me know.